Opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And welcome everybody to Scarefest Television, the original broadcast date, June 3rd, 2022. And yes, we're going for a record. We have 3 weeks now of train wrecks right in a row. No prep time, or no prep effort, however you want to look at it. Anyway, tonight is our monthly council meeting. This is the night where we sit around. We'll answer your questions in the chat room. We talk about what's been going on with Scarefest, which has kind of not been a lot for the last 30 days because it's been May and we're in October, so that's the way things work. But we do have a few things to talk about. We will bring on now the team here. Adrian Elder and Brandon Griffith. We are here to fill the people in. Before we even get on Scarefest, though, maybe you two can help me. Maybe someone can help me in the chat room. Next week, Katie Followell is coming on Scarefest TV to talk about her part in the play Misery, which is basically a theater adaptation of the movie. And do you realize Misery is not streaming anywhere except, what was it, Showtime?
Yeah, Showtime's got it locked. And I'm not paying
Not
Showtime.
even for rent.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, and I have, because I'm old school and still get the internet by mail, I have DVD Netflix. And, no, not on there.
That's not a thing anymore. No, you don't. Really?
Yes.
You have DVD Netflix.
Yes. It's a few extra bucks a month, and occasionally we use it, twice a month maybe?
Yeah.
You get movies faster on it. As soon as they come out theaters, and they'll be on there where otherwise I have to wait for 3 years for Hulu to get them.
That's
Wait, hold on. You get DVDs in the mail?
Yes.
You're shitting me.
No, really.
That still exists?
Yes, it's still
a
a thing.
Google it.
I'm going to have to. I mean, I believe you all, but I really thought that was archaic at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I found it on VHS at FrankenCon, and I almost bought it.
I wish you had, because I also happen to have a couple of VCRs
Yes,
laying around.
absolutely.
Oh, I need a VCR.
Do you?
I have a VCR.
We can-
You can't have my.
We can hook you up.
I've probably got.
We probably got about, maybe.
I got 3, I think.
Yeah, maybe more than
I'm
that.
getting ready to head down to Pop's Resale and picking up a good old VCR.
I was at an auction. I always tried to have one for no reason because I haven't watched the VHS tape in that's one thing.
In a long
I
time.
finally has went by the wayside. But no, I was at an auction and they had 3 for sale. So
He bought every freaking one of them.
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
We're orders.
As a boy growing up with Cinemax and satellite TV, the VCR was my best friend.
Yeah.
And really, if you want to get your favorite shows, VCR is still a good way to go. I mean, you can pick up some VHS tapes pretty cheap.
yeah, but you have to have a place to pick them up.
Well, I got excited because when we were at FrankenCon, I bought, no joke, I think it was $250 worth of VHS tapes.
To be fair, there was an awesome booth right behind us that had a ton of VHS tapes. So,
Yeah, they had Maximum Overdrive on VHS.
Mhm.
yeah.
Now, what I've gotten really excited about, though, with the prospect of that, is that I know a lot of people hate it, and when DVD came out, but the tracking, like when you put a tape in and it gets all
Yeah.
fuzzy and you get the little dial tracking. Like I really kind of miss that.
Most see, mine are more modern that they have auto tracking now, which does not actually work. But you know.
No, I want old school, shitty dial tracking. I want to feel like a mad scientist playing with the dials, and then it's really good, like when they have two and you can go.
Oh, really?
I think I've still got the newest one. I bought because now I do. When I actually buy them in the store, I buy a name brand. I have a Sony combination VHS and DVD player.
Nice.
And it wasn't. The DVD player was shit.
Yes.
When I started college in '98, the DVD VCR combo was top of the line Bentley style home entertainment, and I could not afford one.
So, yeah, but I will say the topic in the chat room, no one can believe that they don't have Misery. They have, now, why they bothered to tell me this on the little app on my cell phone, incidentally, the DVD app on my cell phone. I did a search for it, and they said available on Blu-ray. I'm like, but you don't do Blu-ray. So that was also useless information. But, anyway. So if anybody is in this Cynthiana, Kentucky area and has the VHS or DVD of Misery, I'd really like to bone up on it. And no, Chad, I'm not going to the library and reading the book. Because the play is not based on the book. The play is based on the movie. Because I have no idea why. Anyway. That's your laser disc in Betamax. I never had a Betamax. I never had a laser disc. We borrowed one time because
I've never heard of Betamax.
Huh? You never heard of it?
I've never heard of.
She's a young.
Okay, well you are. You are showing your youth.
Well, I had this conversation with somebody the other day. Do you remember Suncoast Media? Does anybody remember that?
Not really, but refresh my memory.
So they used to have them in malls and like all this stuff. I think they had one in Fayetteville here in Lexington at one point in time. But when you're a kid in Eastern Kentucky, like Suncoast Media, like they had all the posters, all the movies, like
Was
was
their logo like kind of like not a rainbow, but like a rainbow, like red, orange, yellow? I'm gonna have to Google it. I feel like I know what you're talking about, but hold
I think
on.
that was like reading Rainbow, but no, I think you're right. That was the logo, but like if you walk through to a mall, like it was like a Hollywood sign, and then they just had movies packed from front to back, and like you just had a whole array of everything.
Okay, so yeah, this is exactly. Hold on, I was right over here.
Suncoast and Blockbuster were my two favorite places, and Hollywood Video.
Oh, so it's mostly just red, but it's. Oh yeah, definitely.
My town was so advanced. We had video rental. That's what the sign. Video rental.
My mom, she taught high school, but as a entrepreneur, she had a video store in downtown Jackson, which meant that I got to like order the movies. Oh yeah! Oh God, it brings back so many memories. I thought that was like an adult store when I was a kid.
I can see why you think that.
Yeah, and I was like, why would they have that in Fayette Mall? It's like a Hollywood Hustler in between J.C. Penney and Macy's.
Right. Speaking of, we were talking at Jake's birthday party last weekend that one year at Scarefest, Hustler Hollywood had a booth, and they did like a spin the wheel, win a prize type thing. And we were very interested in seeing if Hustler Hollywood would like to come back and have a booth at Scarefest with their spin the wheel, win a prize thing. So I'm going to be making a few phone calls this week.
Okay, anyway, back to the original topic of this. Betamax, a little history lesson here, was the original video format for home consumers. But Sony had the bright idea not to license the technology because it was superior. Tapes were smaller, the image was better, but they would not license. You had to pay them every time you made a movie on VHS, no matter whose it was. Sony got a cut of the action, and they basically, everybody said, screw you, and VHS took over the market. I think that's it in a nutshell.
Did you Wikipedia that?
Actually, I lived it, Brandon. I lived it. I never had one, but I do remember when they were a thing. Anyway, so yeah, so there's an announcement. We do have a celebrity announcement tonight. I forgot to mention that. At the bottom of the hour, we will have a celebrity announcement. But next week, we're going to be talking about the theatrical version of Misery, which, God, I hope they made it into a musical. That'd be so cool. Anyway, so covered that. Let's go ahead and hit our first commercial break. When we come back, we'll have this more BS to get you through the hour. We are watching the chat room. I have not seen any questions yet, but except for Shanna, yes, we do have a guest announcement tonight.
Everyone is talking about CBD oil, and it seems like almost everyone is using it. The research is ongoing, but the apparent health benefits are overwhelming. If you're going to use CBD products, though, what brand should you buy? First, find out where the hemp was grown. Imports are flooding the market. How potent is it? Look for a brand that plainly states its concentration on the label. And look for full spectrum CBD. This means the oil contains CBD and all the other cannabinoids, terpenes, and nutrients that are found in the entire cannabis plant. Look for Blue Leaf CBD oil. Blue Leaf Naturals is a Kentucky proud company. They use only Kentucky-grown hemp, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses. Visit their website at blueleafcbd.com now and use the code SMILE at checkout for free shipping.
And welcome back. See how easy I can blow through 15 minutes on this total bullshit? Anyway, happy birthday to Nicole Griffith, co-owner of the Scarefest, who just walked off camera, but she was there just a moment ago, I promise everybody. But I'm still not joining her possum cult, even though it was her birthday. But
yeah, she lost her possum a couple days ago.
How do you lose a 20-pound varmint?
Because they're stinky, freaking trash ninjas. Like, it was underneath the couch, and like we just kind of let it like meander there, I guess, for a day. And I think you forgot about it.
No, I didn't. I just can't lift the couch.
Forgot about it. And so yeah, the possum wasn't there when we went to look for it, and it had scurried off and hidden in the closet.
Nice. We have something.
But I built her an entire backyard jungle refuge that she has also. So
with palm trees, because possums.
So you're trying to make it as authentic as possible. I can appreciate that.
Yes, I mean,
right, it's possums. They live in palm trees.
Anyway, Joe, we have a legitimate question. We're going to go over the outline. We don't have all the details down, but we will go over the outline of how Robert Englund lines are going to be handled. You will not have to prepay to get in the Robert Englund line. That was an idea we threw out, and the agents threw it back and said, no. But the way it looks is in the spine, starting sometime early Friday afternoon, and we'll see what time the Saturday and Sunday lines can start. But in the spine of the new convention center, the main hallway as you go in the building, we've got room to do shit. And we are going to go ahead and give you, as people show up and they want to get in line, we will have some process where they can get a time to be in line. Because we know how many autographs roughly he can sign in an hour. There is no point in you standing in line 8 hours when, we can just say, hey, be here. Your line will start at 4 o'clock. It'll be something along those lines. We don't have the details. I'm assuming we still don't have all the details hammered out. But that's the way it'll work.
That's perfect. I had a question actually for Brandon.
Okay.
We were supposed to, I believe, have already turned off the first tier ticket pricing. And when I checked yesterday, it's still on.
Yes, and Brandon, for the last 3 weeks, guys, I'm not gonna lie, like social work has taken up my life, and so I've had to step back a little bit from Scarefest. But now, as of today, I'm jumping back in with both feet.
Okay, so everyone, you have till midnight tonight. Midnight tonight.
Well, no, hold on.
Midnight tonight was the deadline.
Well, hold on. I have a proposition because I kind of also dropped the ball on something. I had talked about doing the early ticket purchasing thing and doing a giveaway for it. Well, I have a prize, and it is an awesome prize. So I would like to suggest that, let's see, today is the 3rd, maybe do like a few more days. That way I can do a post on social media and let everybody know about this awesome prize and give them a chance to go ahead and purchase tickets if they want to, if that's okay with you. If not, we can close it. I'll still give it away right now.
Give them through the weekend. And I'm the hard ass of the bunch.
So old Brandon, just so everyone knows, in case you're curious of what Brandon does 365 days a year, for the most part, is I do social work for children and adults with disabilities. Now, and we work with about 300 plus families in and around Central Kentucky. And it's a lot, that's what I've done ever since I got out of school. I've been doing it for 20 years. And I opened up my business that does that back in 2012. And, it ebbs and flows, but the last 3 weeks,
it's been Mercury retrograde.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. That's a pretty good way to put it.
It has. It's over today though.
But we finally pushed through, and so I'm getting caught back up. Adrian and Wes have given me deadlines and told me I need to get my shit together. And so that is my goal this weekend, is to get my shit together and get caught up.
I don't give you deadlines because my greatest fear is when you kick into high gear and then you start handing me shit to do, the weather will be beautiful and I'll be baling hay. Yeah. So I don't push you.
True. Normally, like when the busy time hits, it's earlier in the year, but like this year, May has been my month of trying to maintain my sanity and very little sleep. But we're on the other side of the cataclysm, I guess.
Now we do have another legitimate question from the chat room, and Adrian, you had the most eloquent answer to this the other day. Photo ops. When are we going to?
I don't remember my good answer. I give you an answer. I don't know how eloquent.
The hold up on photo. First of all, everybody. Okay, now this me being a smartass. Don't take offense to it in the chat room. We have never managed to get photo ops on sale like before 45 days before the show. I think that might be our record. They're usually like.
Well, there's a good reason for that.
There is, and your reason. We're going to do better this year, people. But there is a big reason why we do not have the photo ops on sale.
Yeah, so, okay, with a lot of things and, in conventions, the people always run the risk of, like, when we book celebrities, some celebrities, we book them, in advance. But a lot of these people are still actively filming, and they work, and that's their work. So if for any reason they have filming, something comes up, they can't do our show, then we have to cancel them. And so giving it a couple of months, we'll give that time for, if there's going to be any of that going on. But also because we ask for information from the reps for the celebrities, and sometimes we don't get very timely responses. So in order for us to get the photo ops up for sale, I have a Google Drive from our photo op company. I go in, I plug in who all is going to be there, and then I plug in their percentage, and then they have to do their stuff. And then the photo op company, everything goes through them. So they actually have to be the ones to put it all on the internet. Now, we use one of, if not the best professional photo ops company that does conventions. And because of that, they are in really high demand. They do sometimes 3 or 4 shows a weekend. They do a lot of really high profile clients. I think a couple weekends ago, one of the owners of the show was photographing an ex-president in New York, and like he couldn't tell anybody where he was going or what he was doing, and then he couldn't share any of his photos until afterwards. So everybody's really super busy, and we are getting those. We are going to get those up as quickly as we can, but also we do want to post them with enough time for people to be able to budget out in advance and go ahead and get some extra photo ops. I know some of them can get pretty pricey, especially the group ops. I've seen some group ops go for lots and lots of money. But yeah, we are working on those. And also, you all aren't even asking me what the prize is that I got.
What's the prize that you got to give away for buying
I
a
thought you were going to
ticket?
make it a surprise.
No, it's not a surprise.
Oh. Well,
No.
then tell us what the prize is.
Okay, so the prize is so Joe Parrish that does Blackgate Studios. I don't know if you all follow him on Facebook, but if not, go to Joe Parrish or Blackgate Studios Facebook and look at the custom Robert Englund Freddy Krueger mask series that he's making. So he's making 13 Freddy Krueger masks. They're all different variants, and he is going to give Scarefest one. And on the plaque, instead of saying Nightmare on Elm Street, it's going to say Scarefest. So, and they're like $150 custom made, hand painted masks. And so he's going to give someone. Now, the way to get in on this is to purchase your ticket before the early sale ends at the end of this weekend.
Yes.
And then you will be in a drawing, and I am going to just use a random number generator. It's going to spit out a number, and then I will pick wherever on the order form that number is, and you will win that Freddy Krueger mask. And they're super cool.
Freddy Krueger mask. Okay. Now, the other part, I'm going to add one thing to the photo op question. If the other we have 3 days that we're at the convention center. People, when they show up at the convention center, tend to expect their people to be at the table doing autographs. If we were to sit down right now and do every photo op that has been requested thus far, not even having all of our guests announced, we would have to extend Scarefest to roughly, my math says, 13 days just for photo ops. So that's there's a lot that goes into it. We'll try to get some of the important ones like Robert and some of the combos like that up, I'm sure, pretty soon. But there are a lot of moving parts to get these up. And
not just that, but after. So another thing, that as soon as the photo ops go on sale, people are going to be asking for the schedules of the photo ops. Now, if you go in to buy a Robert Englund photo, for example, they will be on sale for like Friday session A, Saturday, and Sunday. So you'll know what day your photo op is. The schedule will not be done until very, very close to the show. And I'll tell you why. Because people fly in at different times. Sometimes flights change. We have several celebrities that do in costume photo ops, and they want to do them towards the end of the day so they don't have to go get changed, go back, get changed again, things like that. So say you have a schedule with 60 potential photo ops on Saturday, and then I give you 12 people that need to be in this time frame, but oh wait, hold on, these people have a panel at this time. These people want to do their costume photo op at the end of the day. These 4 go together. It gets very complex. So those schedules, in order for them not to be changed multiple times, they will not be out until right before the show. So the schedule will not be out until right before the show, and I will post that on the Facebook page. The photo ops will be for sale before the show. The schedule will not be up until very, very close to go time.
Yeah, I think the average is usually about a month out.
Sometimes it's like, a month. Sometimes it depends.
3 to 4 weeks is usually.
Yeah, I was going to say about 3 weeks. I think we've even cut it as close as 2 weeks before. But honestly, if it's going to be on Saturday, just plan to be there on
you can
Saturday.
say block the day out. Block the day.
Yeah,
Then,
plan to be there.
then the week before, usually anywhere from like 1 to 2 weeks out, there'll be an online Facebook Live that will walk you through like how to get the photo op, what the protocol is,
Yes.
how to do it, and that'll be, we'll push that out, and the folks at Celeb Photo Ops will get on there and basically walk everyone through. So like if you purchased a photo op and you want to upgrade it to another one, or you want to switch, they'll talk about what that looks like. You can do it all online. The thing to remember too is that we'll be selling them at the door. A lot of people bought them at the door.
Yeah.
A lot of people bought them online the day of. Those are things that are okay to do, but I wouldn't push it. When they go live, people need to buy them early and make sure they get in. Now, remember, if whatever reason, if someone cancels or anything like that, photo ops are 100% refundable.
Yes. Now, that is if the guest cancels. So one of the great things about the company that we use, and, I know that it's hard for smaller shows sometimes because they don't have the volume to get a really great photo op company, and we do. They're amazing. So when you purchase a photo op, that money goes into an escrow account and it doesn't move. If for any reason that celebrity cancels a day or cancels the photo op and they change that item on their Grotix account, immediately everyone that purchased that, it will automatically get refunded. Now, a lot of you all know this because we've worked with this company for years. Anything after the point of purchase goes through them. All the money, we get paid out at the end of the show. The celebrities get paid out at the end of the show. We don't have anything to do. Once we give them the information, they create the schedule. All we do is give them space to work. We have no control over any of that, but they are 5-star awesome with customer service. We have not ever had any complaints out of people having issues with them. So, but any questions that you have do need to be directed to them after you make a purchase. They'll be able to take care of all that on their end.
Yeah, I walked 2 or 3 people back there last year that were like, they were wanting to switch their session, or they were wanting to, change something over. And so I walked them back there, watched the guys from Celeb Photo Ops work with them.
Yeah.
And I didn't see one person get upset or mad or dissatisfied with how they were able to work.
This is why they don't put me in charge of that. If you have any questions how I would do it, watch Seinfeld's Soup Nazi episode.
What?
No photo for you.
Come in.
Yeah. You can't do that, man. Boy, don't mess with the photo ops. Those are important.
I'm not saying you get a refund. I'm just anyway. That's where I was going with it. Okay, we get at 30 minutes down. We're going to do another commercial break, and we're going to come back and have a celebrity announcement and some other stuff, and then we'll bullshit for another 30 minutes. Be right back.
Spirit Mechanics is here to help. Their background includes many different specialties across the metaphysical spectrum, including alchemy, shamanism, Celtic witchcraft, angelic magic, astral travel, and more.
With over 30 years combined experience in the group, you can be confident in their ability to help. If there is a question you have that you cannot answer, they will do their best to assist you.
Metaphysics can be intimidating, confusing, and unfortunately, abused. Spirit Mechanics takes pride in being selfless in the pursuit of helping others, being humble and honest with their clients about their questions, And lastly, maintaining a professional and personable atmosphere. They want you to feel as you are coming to a close friend, and they will do everything in their power to make you comfortable and safe.
And our guest announcement for 2022 Scarefest, Dave Schrader. Dave Schrader. Of course, you know him from the Holzer Files recently. He was Paranormal Challenge. He was a judge on that, or helped, or whatever the hell he did. Of course, he's just a top-notch podcaster. Darkness Radio, Coast to Coast AM. And I want to know if his biography is correct, because I did not realize he was according to his IMDb page, he is now also instead of. The point is, he's now over on one of my old networks, Midnight in the Desert. Midnight in the Desert, Art Bell show that he was playing with before he passed away. Anyway, so, and also he's got a Beyond the Darkness on Saturdays and Sundays. So if he's doing all that, he's a busy man. But everybody, you might remember last year he had to cancel because he was under contract to do a cruise in 2020. Then in 2021, they said, hey, people are hardly dying at all from this disease, so we're going to do the cruise. And then, so Dave had to do the cruise, and he missed us. But now he is coming this year, Dave Schrader, Darkness Radio. And we're still incredibly getting staff applications, probably because I announce it every week and we have it closed. Behind the scenes, what areas are we mostly short on? Anybody know off the top of their head?
Everything.
Okay.
We're way above the curve for last year.
Somewhere Lori is twitching violently that you've asked that question.
Well, I like to make a woman twitch violent. What can I do? Yeah.
Anita, wow.
Yeah.
Like,
if you're in doubt what area you would like to be a part of, join the media team, because I don't get to keep any of my volunteers. So there.
I was going to say,
we'll just stick you wherever the hell you're needed.
Security is looking pretty decent. Other than that, we definitely could bolster the ranks everywhere. So, any position that has chairs. We do have some chair positions.
There, your handler. See how easy it is? Anyway. But yeah, we are still taking staff applications. We're doing like monthly meetings now, which are inconveniently scheduled according to my stuff, but that's because I work on weekends. Anyway, next up.
Sorry, did we interrupt your church schedule?
Yeah. Hey, I'm now. See, Scarefest is the reason I'll be burning in hell. That's the only reason. Scarefest Horror Film Festival. Scarefest Horror Film Festival is still taking submissions for that. We have one judge that has watched damn near everything, and the rest of us are just kind of coasting along. But we'll have it all ready in time. And don't forget, everybody, next weekend, the Central Kentucky Mystical Market. Central Kentucky Mystical Market, Lexington's premier monthly psychic and holistic event. It's on Newtown Pike at the Clarion Conference Center. Check it out. 2 days, a lot of fun. I might get to go next weekend for the simple reason they're calling rain till like July. So, anyway, June 11th and 12th. Check them out at centralkymysticalmarket.com or look them up on Facebook. Whatever's easier. Okay, question from the chat room. And I know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyway. Well, let's.
That one.
On the photo op, do you have to pay for each person in the photo? The general rule is yes, everybody gets a percentage. That's why they do it. They're away from their table. They can't sign autographs while they're doing it. So yeah, the more people in a photograph, the more expensive it will. Or wait, you might mean the actual people. No, he means the people joining the celebrities. No, they allow what, 4? 2 adults and 2 children?
So, okay, hold on. You can do, 2 adults and children in a photo op for the price of 1, But if you're asking for like if it's a group photo op, all of that's already figured in. So you pay like just whatever the price is that it's posted for. Some of the group photo ops I've seen at other shows go up into the $600-700 range, depending on how many cast members are in it. They do try to do a small discount a piece, I think, for the more of them that are in it to try to make it more affordable. But yeah, still everybody has to get their cut. But you only have to make the one purchase.
But I think they meant the non-celebrities. I think that's what the question meant. I went off on a tangent. I'm sorry, but I think that's the answer. Generally, families are good. If it's you and 5 of your buddies, no. Unless they look really young, then you might pull it off.
Yeah, they'll catch wind of that. Like, yeah, you walk in there with like, 6 20-year-old dudes, it's probably not going to roll.
Yeah, and all that'll be on their website. Also, when you go to make the purchase, it'll let you know how many people can be in the picture.
And purchase. And for the record, though, they will still ask it by a private message. You know that.
Yeah. But you can also get so you get digital downloads and you can get extra prints and things like that. So if you and your buddy want to get the group photo ops, like Adrian was saying, like the more celebrities you tuck into a group, the more it's going to be, obviously.
Yeah.
And there's a couple things to think about that. Like, a lot of these group photos, like you can't get everywhere, or they're not common.
Or they may not ever come around again. So
right. So like Kane and Robert England, if that was a photo op, that's something that's not very common. And so that's going to be a bigger price. So when I go to shows, or when I used to go to shows before I had so many responsibilities, me and my buddies, like one guy used to go to shows too a lot. Like we would always split the cost and get 2 photo ops, or 1 photo op and get 2 pictures. And that always worked out pretty well, especially for large groups.
Yeah, definitely. So that's a really good point. You can do, if it is you and a friend, you can go and then you can purchase an extra copy of the photo there at the show. Also, they offer digital downloads, which is really cool too. Let's see, there was another one I saw up there. There was another VIP tickets. So right now, we haven't had an opportunity. The 3 of us really haven't had an opportunity in the last few weeks to sit down and get some things sorted out. We will have a very few number of the gold VIP tickets opening back up, I believe, maybe 5 or so.
Okay, from the plat sales, I think the last time I looked, I think it was 4 golds that we're going to be able to open back up.
Yeah, so it's going to be a small number. We are trying to, Brandon mentioned this previously in another episode, we are trying to find a workaround for a mid-tier between the weekend pass and the VIP, without taking away from the VIPs, but also giving people a little bit, maybe like a 30-minute early access to the floor. We're trying to figure out what that might look like. It may just include the 30-minute early entrance and a t-shirt, and not the VIP party. We're still looking at several things there.
Well, the weekend, like if we ended up doing, and this is just my thought on it, again, like Adrian's right, like we've not had a chance to sit down and really work some of that out. Again, that's totally on me. But the thought is that we can do an add-on for people that have already bought tickets, if they want to do like an add-on and do like a early access pass, then that's something that we could do, and we would blast that out to folks that have already bought tickets, so you don't get left out. The people have already invested and already bought a ticket, like that's who gets priority.
That's actually a very good idea.
Yeah, that is a good idea. Yes, the VIP hotel will be the Hilton, and Jake, the photo ops, some of them may be, but I think Brandon had mentioned before, we're going to be building some sets. Mike Nelson he's going to be building some sets for some of the photo ops.
Yeah, he's working on those now. And then one thing you guys definitely, before I had to go on lockdown, if you go on Facebook and go over, check out Nightmares Unlimited. So they'll be coming in this year. And I've talked to him several times. And I mean, if you haven't seen it, his work is amazing. And he's going to be in attendance this year. And if you remember back in 17, and I can't remember if I mentioned this last time or not, but back in 17 when we had Robert, like the 4-foot Freddy Krueger glove that was when we used green screen still. But yeah, so we're talking about using that. And the guy over at Nightmares Unlimited, like, definitely check him out. He's going to be there in full effect, and he's going to have some really cool stuff. And some of that, hopefully, we'll be able to use in photo ops too.
It's really cool because when you're talking about Nightmares Unlimited before, so my birthday, my best friend came down and she was telling me how she had gone to a convention a couple of years ago, and one of the vendors there had a Freddy Krueger glove on a stand. And she was looking at it and she was like, oh my God, this is the glove from the second movie. And he was like, oh yeah, I made this. And he's like, pick it up, put it on, I'll take a picture for you. And she was like, what? She was telling me about this and she was geeking out. And then you literally started talking about Nightmares Unlimited. And I went online, she couldn't remember his name. I went online and I looked and it's the same guy. And I was like, because she was telling me, you guys have to get this guy for Scarefest. I can't remember what his company is, but he has the most awesome stuff. And I was like, oh, that's him. So I sent it to her. And so she's really excited about that.
Yeah, he's actually, so he's going to be working on trophies for us for our costume contest.
Nice.
And also our children's day, our kids day, the kids day costume contest, and the best feature film. And then a few other little things. So yeah,
that's badass.
That just made me think about it because I'm a real big fan of his work. And I don't have his stuff here. I have it next door at the office. Like you guys may remember from making the Phantasm spheres and the Robert Englund gloves. And he also makes the Reggie. He actually made a Reggie 4-barrel shotgun.
Nice.
And he did the Excalibur saw for Texas Frightmares photo op a while back. And I don't know if he's gonna. I asked him. I begged him to try and get me an Excalibur saw for RA to do his photo op. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it, but if he can't, I'm definitely gonna get it for next year. And it's one of those rare occasions where owning a horror convention like works out with. I can write that off of my taxes.
Nice. That's pretty awesome. Let's see. Are we hitting any more cons? We've got 4 events coming up. 2 of them are local here in Lexington. And then we've got 2 cons in Tennessee. We're going to be at Creepy Con and we're going to be at Smoky Mountain Fan Fest. And I don't have Creepy Con's dates in front of me, but Smoky Mountain is July 30th through the 31st.
Yeah, I want to say Creepy is in August.
August 24th.
And then Haunters Against Hate is at the end of this month.
Yep, we're going to do Haunters Against Hate.
And if anybody's going to be in town, like Haunters, I'm really like, I'm happy, but I'm kind of like, I've been wanting to do a Day of the Dead reunion for a long time. And they kind of beat me to it a little bit. So, but more power to them. I am going to take my original Day of the Dead poster down there and get it signed. And it's, the work that Paul and them are doing, I think, is really good. And so if you're in Lexington, you definitely need to check the show out.
Yes, for sure. Let's see, another trivia contest. Yeah, trivia was awesome last year. We had a big turnout for trivia. I think a lot of us were across the street working, doing guest check-ins and stuff, and somebody sent me a picture of Lex Live across the street, and it was packed for a Thursday night. So I think, unless Nicole tells me otherwise, the trivia will probably, again, be at our launch party on Thursday.
No, I've been a big advocate of the trivia.
Yeah.
there's few things in life that I enjoy more than trivia, and we did the Johnny Depp themed trivia this I'm absolutely like I didn't realize it was Friday until like halfway through the day today. Was it like last weekend? Was it? Yeah, it was last week.
Last weekend.
So last weekend we did the Mega Pint trivia. It was all Johnny Depp themed out at Blue Stallion, and that was a blast. And so I'd like to do some more of that. But yeah, the trivia stuff is here to stay. I just hope to God that this year that I can like get in there. I want like me and Joe, if you're out there, like me and you should have our own trivia team with like the moderators, and take the gold.
We'll see, man. I mean, Thursday is normally a pretty steep working day for us, but we'll see if we can sneak you away for an hour to do some trivia. Okay, Brandon?
No, it's not like Thursday's busy or anything. What are you talking about?
No, it's not like we're flying people in from all over the world or anything.
Okay. Let's it's time for our third commercial break. Before we clip away, though, I am going to answer one question very quickly in the chat room. I'm not even going to tell you what the question was. Shanna Hill, your homework assignment is to go back and turn your TV off and watch this damn episode. We just spent 10 minutes talking about your last actual question. Not to call you out, but I love you. You know I love you like a sister. But we literally spent 10 minutes explaining when they answered that question. So we'll be right back. And let's go on.
Horror. Movies. Fans. 4. Life. On Facebook. Find us. 4 watch parties. 4 news. 4 memes. 4 friends. 4 life. Horror movie fans for life. Join us.
Hey, Scarefest fans, this is Joe Lewis with another review. This week, we're going to talk about Candyman, the new one from 2021. I finally got to watch it. It's directed by Nia DaCosta and written by Jordan Peele, Lynn Rosenfeld, Nia DaCosta. It's called Candyman, but it really should be called like Candyman 4. I think there's 3 Candymans. It is a sequel to Candyman. I don't think that's given a lot away. You figure it out in the first few minutes. Did I like it? Did I not like it? So to give you that answer, we kind of have to delve in a little bit into how I feel about the first one from 91-92, directed by Bernard Rose. It's okay. I love Tony Todd. I love the character of Candyman. I like Virginia Madsen in it, actually. But it's not one of my favorite things. For some odd reason, never really got to me. I don't find it scary. I just like Tony Todd and I like the character. But for the movie's lackluster. Oddly enough, that's kind of how I feel about this one. The only difference being is that I think this one's really well made. I love the visuals in it. I love the animation that they do to save on the budget of showing different people and how they've suffered, basically different African Americans throughout history. And it's an interesting take. It's a morality tale. And it's about, do people need a boogeyman? Do people need a bad guy out there somewhere, out there in the darkness? Do they need that? Do they need something to look to and say, don't worry, the boogeyman will take care of them? Same kind of thing for me when I hear people like, Jesus, yeah, they'll get their comeuppance, or, oh, what goes around comes around. It kind of makes you feel better about how you've been wronged. Something's going to be done to you, or something's been done to you. And well, I can't get them back, but they'll get their just desserts. I don't know that I believe that personally. So it's kind of hard for me to buy into Candyman. However, it's a really well-made movie. It's acted well. The dialogue's pretty bad in in a lot of places, but I did kind of enjoy it. I didn't think it wasn't bad. It just doesn't. It's like the first Candyman. It's just not. I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea. I love that once again. I love the character of Candyman. I love what they're trying to do of saying that there could be multiple Candymans and giving instances where different people have been hurt and injustice has been caused to cause these things. I don't know. The movie just didn't speak to me, but I enjoyed it enough that I got into it. And I like some of the kill scenes. It's not overly graphic, but the way that they do it, it's hard to talk about a lot of it without giving too much of it away. I can't talk about who's the Candyman. I can't talk about who comes back. I can't talk about any of that. But what I can say is if you're a fan of the original, this movie is a sequel. It's a sequel. And it's a sequel in the sense of the Evil Dead remake's a sequel. Only this was a little bit more direct of a sequel. I enjoyed it. I recommend it. It's now on Amazon Prime. Most of you all have Amazon Prime, I'm assuming, because you order something every 5 minutes from there like I do. So check it out, take some time, watch it, think about, there's layers to it. Think about that. It's just slightly uneven. There's a character who tells our lead character about different things. And then there's a little thing at the end where there's a switch and it just doesn't quite work. Just a little bit of a jump. Did I like it? Yeah. I liked it better than I thought I would, which is a compliment. So check out Candyman from 2021. And it's on Amazon Prime. So are the other Candyman films. So check them all out. They're not too bad. They're just not my cup of tea. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Thank you.
Really? Did you have something else you wanted to talk about?
And we're back with our birthday girl. We'll just say that. The other owner of Scarefest, Nicole, is sitting down in the front of the camera. So Nicole, what story were you getting ready to regale us with?
So now Greg Nicotero. Okay, so today my birthday, and Kathy Johnson of Scarefest, many years, took me out to brunch at a new place on Main Street called Nick and Norman's, and there are only 3 in the United States, and one of them, I guess they didn't want to put it in Cynthiana where where it all started, but they put it here in Lexington. And the idea of the restaurant is that they didn't have anywhere to eat on set. All they had was a McDonald's and a Walmart. This is what I was told today. And so that the crew needed a place to eat. So they came up with this hipster little restaurant that's owned by Greg Nicotero and Norman Reedus. And so I'm sure everybody on here knows who those are, but Greg Nicotero got his first film doing special effects on I think it was Dawn of the Dead, but one of Romero's zombie films. And so that's how it started. And the restaurant is like really pretty and swanky, and it's not like gobbed up with zombie stuff or anything. It just has some very clean black frames with big photos. And Norman Reedus apparently is also a photographer, and he has a whole photography book. So the waiters didn't know much about any of the pictures or what they were. So as I was eating, I was like, oh, there has to be a reason this is on the wall. So there's one of him with like jaws. So Greg Nicotero, I think, reconstructed and fixed up the last remaining jaws. And his name is Bruce. So Jaws' name is Bruce in the movie. That's what they called him. And that's after Steven Spielberg's lawyer named Bruce. I learned all kinds of things on my own Googling because the servers did not know anything about what was on the walls. But it was really cool. I got a hat. Brandon, bring me that trucker cap on the counter. I got a hat. I had an avocado and crab toast. They put lychee fruit in my Bloody Mary, and it looked like eyeballs. And then they put like a lime for a smile, so it looked like you had a little face, like zombie face, floating in your.
So was any of the menu like horror themed, like just the drinks, or
the drinks weren't even. Here's my hat that I got today. They have all kinds of swag you can buy. No, and really, like on the menu of Bloody Mary is a Bloody Mary, but they added that to the top. So I took a few pictures that I was going to share on the page later because I couldn't, while I was there, figure out what the source was. But one of them, Norman Reedus, has an Eileen Dietz patch on his jacket. So I was like telling the waiters, like, yeah, that's Eileen Dietz. And, she played all the hard scenes Linda Blair couldn't play because she was a child. And she's also the demon in The Exorcist and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, we didn't know what that was. So it was fun. And it's close enough to walk from. They have like gourmet, interesting burgers and, some brunch things. They have a brunch, stuff like that. So it's close enough to Scarefest that we can probably eat there. They have a giant picture, the famous picture of The Shining, with all Walking Dead people superimposed over the faces. So it's, the famous ballroom, cast photo and things like that. So sorry, that was a rant about where I ate lunch today. You really didn't.
Well, actually, I would just say that you should have sold the sponsorships, as we just did a 4-minute ad for them.
Yeah.
But anyway,
exactly.
but I'm a capitalist.
Well, I sort of did it. I told them that we needed their menus and that we would love to have some of their swag. They have very cool swag, cool bottle openers and things, and we'd love to have that in our bags. So
Yes,
they're totally themed for us, so they should do it.
definitely. They should. That would be awesome.
And then the rest of my night, I'm going to put together a bunch of pet cages and things I bought on Amazon, giant pieces of furniture that have 400 parts to screw together. So.
That doesn't sound like a good birthday. I think
Who
I
did
would.
you guys announce tonight?
Dave Schrader.
You guys do Dave Schrader.
Dave Schrader,
Really?
thanks for being a fan.
She was picking Bodio.
Yes.
I know.
heard
I
she's a
know.
broke
I know.
car.
So anyway.
Oh no! Oh well, wasn't I listening? Yeah, my kid broke down in my car, and I was here on time, but he didn't tell me for 40 minutes because he was reading the owner's manual and trying to figure it out on his own.
Well,
And-
which I applaud him for. I mean, other than the fact he made you late,
Well-
which you weren't late. You were on time, but then you had to go again. But, I mean, he was trying to figure it out.
I do applaud him on that, but he had somewhere to be. It's my car. It broke down like 50 feet from where I was, and then I walked home from the restaurant and to get here in time for Scarefest Radio. Then he's on the phone with Brandon when I walk in. And I'm like, he even called Brandon instead of me, and I was right there. Right there. So time to buy another vehicle, I guess. I don't know.
Is it the van?
The minivan.
Well, what
I mean,
are we-
we'll fix it. I mean, we'll fix it, but I'm sharing it with a 16-year-old right now. It's
Well,
not-
yeah, but every time Brandon gets freaking out about the show, he says, we're going to have to sell the van.
The van, that's right. He's like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to cover it. Clean the van, Nicole. We're gonna have to sell the van. That's right.
So I don't care what you do, but sell that freaking van before Scarefest, Nicole, because I don't know what Brandon is going to try to get rid of if we don't have the van.
Sell plasma. Oh my
He's
god.
going to be selling your possums. Sign
Right.
possum for sale.
Possum for sale. Possum for sale. Well, it sounds like you all had a good show.
Well,
and
it was-
Dave Schrader was our announcement, right?
Yes.
The only one.
Yes. Everybody that has been Scarefest TV for the evening, we're at the end of the show, and I will take a moment to apologize. I've been answering a bunch of the Facebook messages, and so if you get an answer that talks down to you, or it was me.
Oh
It was
yeah, that's a good good thing to talk about. Yeah, I went to go and answer some Facebook messages the other day, and it's so funny because on our main Facebook page, whenever you message the page, there's several of us that have access to that, and we kind of just like keep an eye on it collectively. And I can always tell, even though it doesn't tell you which of us responded, it doesn't even tell us that. I always know when Wes has responded to somebody. So if you all message the Facebook page, if you don't get a delightful response, it can't be Wes.
Yeah, if the response to your Facebook message is one word, guarantee it was me. Guarantee. Yes, no, Tuesday, whatever the hell it is. Anyway, that's been Scarefest TV. We'll see you next week with Katie Falwell talking about her stage play of Misery.